Welcome back to the channel. Now I am going to say regarding Unix operating system basic concepts such as how Unix was developed and what are the features of the Unix and so on. First of all, coming to the starting of the Unix. First of all, Unix was developed by MIT and as well as the AT&T companies. When the Unix operating system was started, they cannot able to develop the Unix operating system as a multi-user environment. So they failed in developing multi-user environment, so at a certain time they stopped developing Unix operating system. So after few years, say at 1973, Dennis Ritchie took this particular task, and Dennis Ritchie implemented C programming in the Unix environment. So at that particular time of implementing C in the Unix, the single user environment was moved to the multi-user environment. So after adding the Unix programming to the C programming, now we can perform a Unix operating system as a multi-user environment. So by adding a C programming to the Unix, we can perform multiple tasks. So first of all, Unix came to the users. When first Unix came to the users for usage, they have named the Unix as a V, capital V. So later, and Unix came to the users as the first free of use open source. So there are a multiple number of features in Unix. So let us see regarding what are the features in Unix. So what is the reason to learn the Unix and all these things? First of all, the main feature in the Unix is it's a multitasking. So you can perform a multiple number of tasks at the same time or simultaneously. Next, multi-user operating systems. In a Windows, if you are performing multi-user mechanism means here you have to your system speed capacity is going to reduce. So at the same time, if you are using a multi-user operating system in a Unix environment, your system is you cannot able to see the difference of single user and multi-user, right? Here you cannot feel like multi-user environment. You can just feel like it's just a single user environment. So next, portable. If you are trying to move one file from Windows environment to Unix environment, it is going to support whatever the file you have brought from one operating system to the another operating system, it is going to support that particular file without any problem. So that's why we can call it as a portable, or we can also say it's a platform independent. Next, intermission communication. If you want to communicate with one user to the another user via a server, you can communicate with the one user to the another user if you are in a local area network or wide area network or metropolitan area network, say LAN, MAN and WAN. Next, security. Unix going to give high level of priority to security because your data is going to store in a very secure manner. So that's the main reason most of the MNCs and all the companies use Unix. Next, library and of utility commands. Here, whatever the task here, Unix is going to support a set of library functions. So what this library function is going to do means it is going to run different types of commands and different types of utilities and all these things. Next, seventh one, file and directory system. Here, whatever the files you are storing in a Unix environment, all the files are going to store in a particular manner, particular order. I can say here the particular order. What I can say is here it is going to maintain a directory structure. We can also call it as directory structure as a hierarchical tree structure. So these are some of the very important advantages of Unix operating system. Next, components of the Unix. The general components of the Unix is kernel, shell, and file system. Now let us see what is the meaning of kernel, what is the meaning of shell and file system. Coming to the concept of kernel, the kernel is going to work as a heart of the Unix operating system, and here the kernel can able to communicate with the operating system directly without any the kernel can going to perform the task directly without any help of an operating system and all these things. It can directly take the input from the user itself without any third party agencies and all these things. And whatever the task you are performing, the kernel is going to perform the task accordingly, and it is going to do the task whatever you were requested. and it can directly communicate with your hardware devices like keyboard and mouse and all these things. Next, in a concept of kernel, you can also see different types like a micro kernel and as well as a monolithic kernel. So in the concept of monolithic kernel, here all the larger tasks are moved to the smaller task and it is going to process. And micro kernel can be defined as a, here the tasks of large number of tasks are grouped to the smaller tasks. It is defined as a microkernel. And coming to the next concept is shell. Here, whatever the task you are performing here, the shell is going to place a major role. There are different types of shells, such as first one is bound shell. The bound shell was developed by Stephen Bounds. Stephen Bounds, the main task of this particular bound shell is here, if you want to know regarding any type of command, how this particular command works and all these things, you can just come and search in the bound shell. This bound shell is going to give the complete information regarding the command whatever you are searching. So next, C shell. By the help of a C shell you can run C programs and all these things. Here the bound shell is represented with sh and C shell is represented with csh. And corn shell. Corn shell is the combination of a bound shell and as well as a C shell. This shell can work like a bound shell and as well as a C shell. This is an hybrid shell also. Next, bound against shell. This bound against shell is can be defined as it acts as a firewall of a Unix operating system. So, what this firewall do is, this firewall is going to protect your Unix environment from unwanted websites or proxy websites. Whatever you are accessing, it is going to stop your accessing from the unwanted websites and all these things. Next, a file system. Here, a Unix file system is going to store your data in a hierarchical manner. Your data is going to store in a hierarchical tree manner. Next, here let us see some important commands in the Unix. So before we are going to see regarding the different types of commands in the Unix, the first thing we have to know regarding that is, whatever the commands you are learning in the Unix, the commands are generally categorized into two types, such as external commands and as well as internal commands. External commands can be defined as whatever the command you are defining, that command can work by itself without help of any commands. It can run by itself. For example, cat is a command which can work by itself without help of any other commands. Next, internal commands can be defined as whatever the command you are giving, these internal commands cannot run by itself. It needs another command to execute, such as echo. If I define a command called echo Srinivas, so here if the meaning of the echo command is whatever the text you have written, it is going to print that particular text. Here, if I define Srinivas, it is going to print the text called Srinivas. Means the task of an echo function is it is going to just display the whatever the thing you have written on the command. So here, if you observe, here the screen echo is just depending on the thing whatever I have written there. So that is the not only the echo, the remaining examples like mkdir, make directory, cd, change directory, all the commands comes under the internal commands. So now let us see some of the basic commands of the Unix operating system. Next, first one is echo. Echo is just going to print whatever the information that you want to print. Next, tput. Tput is a command which is going to see what is the movements of your computer's keyboard and as well as the movements of your computer mouse. Next, tty is a command used to know what are the device files are there in your computer system. Next, uname. Uname is a command which you can know the username of the list of usernames which are present in your Unix operating system. Next, date command. By the help of a date command, you can see the present date, today's date. If you display the date command, you can see the today's date. So cal, you can see by the help of a cal command, you can see the calendar of the particular month. Next, pisswd is a command where you can see the password of the user. So this pisswd is used for servers for checking the password to the for the users and all these things. Next, lock is a command which is going to help to lock your screen for a particular point of time. So if you are moving from your system away, if you are moving away from your system, if you use a command called lock, it is going to lock your computer screen until you get come and unlock the particular screen. Next, banner is the command which is going to display the banners on the screen. Next, cat is a command which is used to display the files whatever you have written. And also the cat command can be used for creating a files also. We can, regarding that particular creation of files, we can see in the further upcoming videos. Next, bc is a command which can be used for both calculator and as well as performing simple mathematical operations such as square root and all these things. Next, spell is a command whenever you have writing a text document, the spell command helps for verify the mistakes whatever you have written. If you are writing mistake, it is going to highlight the particular mistake for correction. Next, I spell is a command which is an interactive spell check. So whatever you have written, it is going to just interact with you whatever you have written on the particular document. So the man command is a command which is going to give details of all the users which are present in our computer. Next concept, command substitution. Here command substitution is nothing but a defining one command inside another command is called a command substitution. So for example, if you observe C programming, if you observe the concept of nested functions, nested functions can be defined as a defining one function inside another function, such as a while inside the while, for inside the for. Such type of functions is called as a command sub nested functions. Here let us see the command substitution. Here you can observe echo. Today date is date I have written. Here echo is one function. In an echo function I have written another function called date. So totally whatever the output I am getting, echo, sorry, today date is whatever the date today, 24th September 2022. That is what the output you are going to get. Next, giving multiple commands. Here in a Unix operating system, there is no rule that you have to give only one command at a time, right? You can give multiple number of commands at a time. There is no rule that you have to give only one command at a time. So how to give multiple commands at a time means, whatever the command you are writing, you can write a multiple commands separating by each and every command with a symbol called semicolon. Example, you can write multiple commands such as cat, ls, mkdir, rmdir, like that. So in between each and every command such as cat and ls, if you keep a semicolon, automatically you are going separating the two commands. So if you separate with semicolon, the operating system can understand that you are giving a two commands, not a single command, right? So this is the just basic introduction of unit 1. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you.